Hi, I'm Sherry here at the Little Beading Closet, and this is the SociaLITE Necklace beading tutorial, shown here in a gorgeous sapphire and gold colorway. This is a fun project that has a larger central bezel, along with two smaller ones sitting on each side of it, and a simple yet elegant sparkling beaded chain finished here with a gold bow clasp. Let's look at the supplies for the necklace, and also there will be a list with links in the video description. You're going to need two of the 8mm chatons, along with a 12mm cushion cut fancy stone, size 15 and size 11 seed beads in a color that matches your stones, a metallic size 15 seed bead that matches your 3mm bugle beads, size 11 delica beads, again to match your stones, 4mm round pearls, and Superduo beads. So luckily, all the chatons, cushion cut stone, pearls, Superduos, beads for this project can be found in the Sapphire Dusk Bead collection at Eureka Crystal Beads. The only supplements you would need are a size 15 seed bead in this metallic gold. And the other supplement that I'm going to suggest is this Elegant Elements clasp that they have on their website. I think it's just as beautiful as the necklace, and that's what I'll be using in the tutorial, although there was a lobster claw supplied with the collection, so you could do that if you wanted. I like working these two sections together first on 5.5 feet of thread, and then we'll just add another piece of thread to continue working. Beader's note for this project: you will be working with size 15 seed beads that are quite small, so using a fire line, especially in a 6-pound, is definitely recommended, and a size 12 beading needle. To start the necklace, we're going to be making this bezel for the 12mm cushion cut fancy stone, completely bezeled around. So let's go ahead and look at the supplies that we'll need. The star of the pendant is this Krakowski 12mm cushion cut fancy stone. This is a capri blue, so beautiful. The size 15 and size 11 Toho seed beads. And these are the Miyuki Delica size 11 seed beads. The tube had a mix of colors in it, and I just pulled a color that seemed to mix with everything that we're using. The 3mm bugle beads, a total of 4 4mm pearls, and 8 of the Superduos. The first step of your bezel is picking up one of the size 11 seed beads and one of the 3mm bugle beads. You're going to repeat that for a total of 8 times. When you have all 8 pairs of the seed bead with bugle bead on your needle, go ahead and bring that down near the end of your thread. And you're going to want to add a knot, bringing this together. On the second knot, making sure to pull everything tightly into place. And then I'll usually slip my tail back through the bugle bead, pulling it through, and then trimming it off right away. And then come through the next size 11. And pick up a bugle, a 15, and a bugle. And come through the following size 11, bugle, and one more 11. And you'll pull those together to form a little triangle peak here along the edge. We're going to make 4 of those around this circle, picking up the same combination of beads, and then come through the next 11, bugle, and 11. Making one more triangle, maybe getting it to sit properly with your fingers. So we have 2, and we're going to make 2 more. Bugle bead, 15 bugle bead, and through the next 11, bugle bead, and 11. So now we have 3, and we have 1 more to put on. 1 more set of beads through the next 11 bugle bead and 11, making the 4th and final triangle to our piece. The next step will be needling down to the 15s on each point and adding a unit of right angle weave. So come down and through the 15, this time picking up a 15, the 11, and a 15. Needle back through the 15, forming the unit of right angle weave at the end. Following the thread path over here to the 15, doing the same thing. It's easy to get the needle through most of the beads at the same time. Stepping through the 15 here at the point, picking up a 15, 11, and 15. Coming back through your 15, adding another unit of right angle weave there. We're going to do the same right here. Easy needling on this project. Stepping through the 15, 11, and 15 again. Coming back through the 15 here on the end. And come around here to add 1 more. Come through the 15. The last time. Coming back through the 15 up here. Super easy so far. And we're just about ready to enclose our fancy cushion cut stone here. You're going to need 8 of the size 15 seed beads along with 12 of the delicate beads, whichever color you picked out. I went with this sort of silver lined blue. You're going to want to come up to the 11 here on the end. So come up through the 15 and then step through the 11. Pick up 3 delicate beads. Come through the next 11 here at the point. And you're going to want to kind of fold these triangles towards the center, making a bit of a cup shape. So you'll just repeat that with 3 delicas, coming through the point, size 11. Continuing to lift these bugle bead triangles together. 3 more delicas through the 11. Again, lifting the triangle of bugle beads towards the center. So here's the back of your bezel. This is the front. We're going to go ahead and sit our stone in. You want the corners of your stone to sit in the openings between your triangles. Kind of pulling this together, you can see how they sit in the openings between your triangles. We'll pick up 3 more of the delicate beads and come back through the 11 where we started, maybe holding your stone in place and just kind of pulling everything, making sure the corners of your stone sit between the triangles and retrace this inner part one time. So come back through all the delicas and the 11. This will just help get it secured into place. But you can see it won't be until you get all the way around. One more time will it be totally tight. So just keep going. By this last pull, make sure your stone is sitting in there nice. You can flip it over. Make any little adjustments that you need to. It may want to wiggle just a little bit at this point, but we are almost finished and it will get snug in. I'm going to go along this side one more time here. And then come through 2 delicas, pick up 2 15s, and needle through the middle delica of the next side. You're going to want these to pull the center together. We're going to repeat that for each side. 2 15s through the center delica on the next side. This really tightens it up. 2 more 15s through the center delica on the next side. Pulling it in tight. And the last 2 15s. Try to make sure the point of your stone is centered and come through the middle delica again. And pull that tight. Everything should be looking really good right now. And I always retrace my inner set of 15s, skipping the delica and just coming only through the 15s. Pulling tight. Like I said, I skipped the delica and just through the 15s. And pull it tight. We are finished here on the back of the bezel. Flipping it around, you can see that we have this beautiful top. We just need to go ahead and bring our thread and needle into position for the next step. Exiting the 15s, needle through the next delica, and the delica and 11 after it. And we're going to come around these 3 15s. The second one, and the third one. So now we're in position for the next step. For the next round, you'll need your 8 Superduos and some size 15 seed beads. You'll want to pick up a 15, 2 Superduos, and a 15, and rotate your bezel over here to this right angle weave section of seed beads. Again, going through the 3 15s, coming through the first one, through the one at the point, and then step down the next 15, and you repeat that for the other 3 corners. And again, repeating that the 3rd time. Continue around and add 1 more section. And we have the last section. We're going to come up through the 15, pulling those right into place. Needle through the next 3 15s and 2 Superduos. 1, 2, and 3, and through the 2 Superduos, and then step up to the outer hole of your Superduo. Now we're in position to add the rest of the beads. You'll need 4 of the bugle beads, 4 of the 4mm pearls, and 8 of the size 11 seed beads. We're going to use 1 of the bugle beads between each of the Superduos, a size 11 seed bead, your pearl, and another seed bead, and then alternate that pattern. Go back to the bugle bead, continue alternating around, until you fill the last gap. And now you're going to want to take your needle and thread and retrace this very outer circle of beads. Just give it a nice tight pull as you're going around. This will really cinch in the outside band. You'll feel it really tightening up. And just do that until you're happy with the tension. You'll know it when you feel it. At this point, you can have a beautiful pendant as is, but we're not finished. We're going to go ahead and work on completing the necklace. To complete the rest of the focal part of your necklace, you need 2 of the 8mm crystal chatons, 18 more of the 4mm pearls, 8 more Superduos, and 8 of the 3mm bugle beads, along with size 11 seed beads, 2 colors of size 15 seed beads, the ones that correspond with your 11s, and a nice metallic gold to go with everything else in the mix. We're going to build off of here. We're exiting the pearl, and we're going to pick up 3 more pearls, needle back through the pearl that your thread is exiting, and then add 1 gold seed bead between each pearl. Adding the seed bead between the pearls at this step instead of all together makes it a lot tighter. I think you'll be much happier with the results. Wait until you get your last one, coming back through the pearl on the pendant, and pull it all tight. And then needle up here to this pearl, coming back through the seed beads and pearls, pulling tight after each pass, and exit this purl. Next, we're going to alternate, picking up a Superduo and then a purl, repeating that, ending in a Superduo, and then needle back through the purl that your thread is exiting, and then needle up to this purl, following the thread path through the purl, 3 more purls, and needle back through the purl that your thread is exiting, and then adding the size 15 seed beads between the purls, one more, back through the purl, and then needle down here to the Superduo. Picking up 3 of the size 11 seed beads, needle back through the Superduo, and you want those to sit on top. Come through the purl, the next Superduo, and each time adding 3 size 11s to sit on top of your Superduo. Follow the thread path to the next Superduo and repeat that process one more time. On this Superduo, and then come through your purl in this Superduo, through the purl, and Superduo, and add 3 more of your size 11 seed beads on top of this Superduo. Now we're going to come through the purl and into the seed beads above the next Superduo. So needle through the purl, so up 1, and the center one just above the Superduo. You can go ahead and take your 8mm chaton and sit it in the middle. You'll have to hold it with your finger for now. With one size 15, a bugle bead, and a 15, you're going to needle through the middle size 11 above every Superduo. Just repeat that by taking, it might be easier to take the chaton out until you get a few sides on the 15, bugle and 15, through the middle 11 above the Superduos. Continue that pattern. And on the last one, you're coming back through the middle 11 where you started. You're going to sit your chaton in the middle of all of that. Kind of pull tight. It's going to seem loose right now. What we're going to do is go through the next 15, bugle and 15. Just hold your stone in. Skip your size 11 in the corner and needle only through the 15s, bugles, and 15s. Cinching in the two 15s together is going to tighten this up right here on top. kind of like magic. Skip the 11s, go just through the 15s, bugles, and 15s. Down the next set, holding your stone in place and pulling the corner together. And coming back through right here. Even though it's really held together quite nicely now, I do retrace that one time. Just retracing it. That's looking lovely. Now we're going to drop down here and finish up with some seed beads. Come through the 11. Drop down one more 11 through the Superduo towards the pendant. We're going to step into the outer hole of the Superduo this time. I'm picking up 2 of the metallic size 15 seed beads. Needle through the pearl. That is just going to fill it in here along the edge. So picking up 2 more, coming through the outer hole of your Superduo, just like that. Now we're going to step through this other hole of the Superduo, doing a little bit of a turnaround so we can work on the other side. Back through the pearl. It's not that hard, it just depends on what angle you can get your needle through. And through the Superduo, pearl, and then we're going to come through the Superduo, pearl, and Superduo here. The Superduo, the pearl, and Superduo. Again, needle up to the outer hole of your Superduo, 2 of the size 15 metallic seed beads, and needle through the pearl, and 2 more 15s up here. Now with your thread exiting the top of the Superduo, we're just going to end it off here on the back, come back through the lower hole of the Superduo, and come through the pearl, pulling everything tight, and then carefully needling underneath this thread bridge, slipping the needle through the loop, and adding a half hitch knot, and then come through the next Superduo and trim off the tail. If you like it to hang from just one point, you could do this, but we're doing the full necklace, adding another one of these right off of this side. Well, now that you've made this, I bet you're inspired to do the other side. Go ahead and take 3.5 feet of beading thread on your needle, and all you do is knot it here on the outside edge. Bring it along the outer edge until you get to this pearl, and then you're going to be in position to make another one of these units right here. And now both sides are connected to the center of the pendant. Sometimes as a beader, it's hard to have restraint and not go overboard. But I really want the chain part of the necklace to remain simple and classic and let this really stay the star of the show. To work on the chain of the necklace, you're going to need the 3mm bugle beads along with size 15 seed beads in a matching color. I am going to switch over to 3.5 feet of clear fire line for the rest of this project. And you're going to want to attach a needle to both ends of that thread and needle through this pearl, centering the thread on the pearl. I like to put some of the 15s on both sides where I'm working and some of the 3mm bugles. I'll pick up a 15 on both needles Bring them up next to the pearl and pick up one of the bugle beads and crossing your other needle through it. And just pull that up towards the pearl. Continue working that pattern of 2 seed beads, 1 bugle bead, and then crossing the other needle through it, and continue doing it just like that. I'm sure you found making the chain for this necklace super simple. Once you get the length that you need, we'll be prepared to go ahead and attach a clasp. Over at Eureka Crystal Beads, they sell these beautiful, elegant elements, bow clasp. So if you want to see how I attach it, let's check it out. I have made both sides of the chain the same length, and I'll start on the side that I still have my needles attached to. It doesn't matter which side of this clasp you attach first. It will be the same way. Pick up 2 size 15 seed beads. Double check that you're attaching the clasp on the correct side. Come up through the back of it. Picking up one more of the size 15s and just needling back through the clasp. Pull that one down here. 2 more 15s and needle back through the bugle bead. Pull your strings taut with the other needle. You now just want to retrace that thread path coming through the 2 seed beads, through the opening of the clasp, and then needle through the 1 seed bead that's sitting here on top of the clasp, and needle back down through your clasp, through the 2 seed beads on the other side, and back through the bugle bead. Make sure you give this a lot of tension, pulling it tight. Retrace the thread path of your chain a little ways. Back and forth. I'd say aim for going about 5 or 6 bugle beads away from the clasp. Then repeat that with the other thread until they are at the same bugle bead. After crisscrossing the threads so many times, it's not going to come undone. Just carefully and closely trim off the tail right next to your bugle bead. Now you just need to attach the clasp the same way on the other side. I hope that you enjoyed making this beautiful necklace. It was so much fun to design and share with all of you. And as always, I hope you have a beautiful day.